All right, guys, we're reacting to Tim Dillon on the Joe Rogan podcast, and it's called Tim Dillon Rants about the future of America. You heard it right there. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe before I roll this clip. And with that out the way, let's get into it.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
What we have to realize is that we're Americans. You know, we're deeply selfish monsters that have been bred to destroy all life on Earth. We have to not lose sight of that message. We're here to fuck things up for everyone else, not each other. And that's what we had in the 80s and the 90s. We had a commitment to apathy while our leaders ran around pillaging the earth. And we made great movies and great art, and it was fine. Yes, people got killed, but people always get killed. But now we're at war with each other. We should just be enjoying the spoils of the end of the empire. Truly. We should be.
The end of the empire. That's a pretty dark ending to his rant right there, but the message is spot on. I feel like regardless what side you're on, left or right, we should be able to come together and, you know, living in the world is already hard enough. The world already, you know, has so many challenges. So why are we fighting in our homeland when we could be building, working together, you know, paving the way for a better future, at least for us, you know, and then we can do what we can for other territories, other countries. But
so many people got killed, murdered, tortured, maimed for us to have all the nice things we have. Do you know how insane it is to not enjoy it? You know how crazy it is to not enjoy a McMansion, a flat screen TV, a McFlurry? You know how much blood is in the street for those things? And people act like they don't even matter. And they're fighting about all this bullshit. It's crazy. Anyway, that's the truth. That's the real truth. Nobody wants to hear it, but that is the truth. We have a lot of these things are nice, but some of them are ill-gotten gains. Fine. You know, not everybody picking tomatoes is happy about it. But have you ever had a nice Jersey thick beefsteak tomato? It's good. Imagine having one and then fighting with someone about something. It's stupid. If there's a hell world going.
You can tell he loves his food.
And if there's not, we get reincarnated when we're Beatles or something. But just enjoy it. And nobody wants to enjoy it. And that's what makes me upset. Is that we used to have a country built on enjoyment. Built on fat, stupid people enjoying the work of a small group of demons. And now we can't even enjoy that. Can't even have fun.
That would be the only way to get us out of this.
That's right.
If we ever realize that the problems that we have with issues are far smaller than the problems the issues that we agree on. Like,
Okay, Joe, I like that.
Everybody agrees we have to have less crime. Everybody agrees that we have to have more education. Everybody agrees that we have to have safer streets and
we just have different ways of going about things.
safer cities. Everybody agrees that.
That's right.
And the things that we disagree on, will people disagree on like how to make those things a reality though? Yeah. How do you have less crime? Is it by letting
it's also
people out of jail?
Us being divided helps. It helps people who want to just continually operate in the system as it's constructed. And whether that is the system of perpetual war or the system of the banking sector, the dominance of the financial sector, or the system is tech companies set up to have these political relationships, how they're presently constituted. People who are thriving in this system and using it to their ends do not want it changed. And people hating each other helps them.
That's true, I guess. I mean, I don't know this personally because I haven't figured out everything. But once you figure out all the tax codes, all the loopholes, all the way to get the most out of being an American citizen, and you like it and you feel like it's benefiting you and the people around you, why would you want to change anything? But I feel like the left doesn't think about that enough. I don't think they think about that enough.
It definitely does. Do you think that that's just human nature?
Yes.
And you're just doing it while this is happening, or do you think it's orchestrated? This is the question, right? Is the dissent, and is some of it, we know it's manipulated by other countries.
Yes.
Well, even if it was manipulated, that would still be human nature.
We know that China does it. We know that they have these huge Russian organizations that in their troll farms.
Yeah.
We know that that's going on. The idea that we wouldn't do that to ourselves if we were trying to get people riled up about each other.
To an extent, it's probably an inherent flaw in democracy, but I'm glad I lived in one, and I'm glad I lived in the time I did. But I do think, a democracy kind of descends probably into an oligarchy eventually. The vast majority of the citizens go, I don't want the responsibility of citizenship.
There are people that say we're in a republic, not a democracy. Comment in the chat.
So a few really highly motivated psychopaths go, we'll handle it. We'll take it from here. And then those people are fighting over their own interests constantly.
Do you think it should be illegal to pretend to represent a human being when you're a corporation that is promoting your own needs? So do you think that like a corporation that hires, whether it's a foreign corporation, let's say it's a foreign one so it's not connected to us, that hires a company to propagandize about a specific political issue that's going to be a hot button target, and they do it as a bunch of people that attack people.
Yes.
And go after people with dissenting opinions and
I know what he's talking about.
Quote tweet them and attack them, and you find out it's not even a real person.
Right.
If you know what he's talking about, put it in the chat and timestamp it.
That should be illegal. That seems to me like if we're allowing that in this country.
Oh, yeah. But we'll continue to allow anyone with enough money.
Right, but don't you think that thing right there, just that's insidious? Like pretending you're a person for a specific propaganda and having it like 1,000 accounts and you're running it through computers and you've got people that are responding to things. You got people that are just retweeting things and posting things, and it's all just propaganda.
It's insane that the Congress, the Congress members who went and started trading stocks.
Well, I guess wouldn't that be just something that can happen in the system? You know what I mean? And if that's something that can happen in the system with the laws, then you would have to, move around some laws or change some laws to fix that. Because if he thinks that's a problem, you know what I'm saying, then it should probably be illegal.
Based on the knowledge of how bad coronavirus was, still have jobs, right? All of this is kind of insane. We're just at peak insanity here. And there's, are
we at the peak?
I don't know if we're at the peak, but we're close to it. Like, I do believe with the way things are going, and you're looking at some really crazy trends, and I don't know when they come to a conclusion, and if they do, without something, a war or some violent or whatever. But, like, it is just, we're living in a time now where we all know everything's fucked, but we're mostly powerless to change it. And that's when societies start to decay past a point. And everybody just kind of sits back and watches it like a show. And it just descends into eventually something that becomes more and more unmanageable. And then either a strongman dictator type comes in, or there's some massive war that resets things, or there's some natural disaster. But it feels like...
So he really thinks we are here at the end. Wow, Tim Dillon.
And then either a strongman dictator type comes in, or there's some massive war that resets things, or there's some natural disaster. But it feels like we're kind of at that point, That's why I'm glad we lived in the era that we lived. And we really should just be happy. We should be really happy. We should go, it's nice that we got the run we did, because it's not getting better. I mean,
here's what's interesting.
Or maybe it will, and God bless.
Okay, well, I could kind of see it from his perspective, because he's older than me. He saw the world at a peak, is what he's saying, and he thinks we're just going down, almost like a stock crashing. You know what I mean? So, I guess from it's his perspective. You know what I'm saying? His perspective and his opinions.
When I was a kid, I remember reading about like the fall of the Roman Empire and the fall of the Greek Empire, and then I was thinking about America.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Is this thing gonna go away someday?"
Right.
Is that possible? Is it possible that this is just one? I mean, we want to think it's fucking permanent, but I bet the people of Rome felt the same way.
Of course they did.
This is how it is. This is how I live every day. This is not going to change.
I mean, okay, it's something to think about. Nobody thought Rome would fall. Look what happened. Time beats any obstacle. Time beats anything.
But I bet the people of Rome felt the same way.
Of course they did.
This is how it is. This is how I live every day. This is not going to change.
That's interesting. I think that's something I need to research. I need to research like how Rome fell. See if it's some parallels I could draw to the current day, just for fun.
Right.
And Russians know.
They know.
They know.
Their
know
society's collapsed.
They've been through it.
Our society will go down. Nothing will ever be funnier. America will come apart in one of the funniest ways. All of these people, these grifters, everybody circling the wagons, the Caitlyn Jenners, the Donald Trump. It'll be funny till you'll die laughing. Literally, you'll die, but you will be laughing. It will be the most absurd and insane thing. It will be out of a fucking dystopian horror movie, and it won't be funnier than America, because we're a crazy country full of crazy people, and everybody's just trying to suck the last few dollars out of this bloated pig corpse of an empire before the end. And I'm no different. Watch my special and subscribe to my pod.
I gotta watch this special. If you've seen a special, let me know in the comments.
What am I gonna fucking sit here? What am I gonna go preach on a fucking mountain? We gotta make a little money here. But make no mistake, I mean, if I'm wrong, and I'd love to be wrong, but if your attitude or your idea is that the population's gonna get smarter, healthier, and more adept at problem solving, you're on fucking crack.
And it's like, I don't want to believe that, but like I said, something to think about.
Oh, yeah, probably. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Well, what happens next? Like, do you think we ever descend into some sort of like CCP controlled world, like that kind of totalitarian government? Do you think it's possible that through technology and just through people just falling apart, getting losing their fucking minds, thinking it's the right thing to do?
I think what happens next is we'll just have, these giant oscillating swings between right and left. And then I think, eventually it'll get to a point where large areas in the country are unlivable for a myriad of reasons, perhaps crime or homelessness, climate, whatever. Very well-off or well-connected people will have these kind of enclaves this is already happening. And then they'll...
Okay, well, he's saying non-livable. Now thinking of it with those words, I see that being far in the future. Non-livable, like crime is one thing. I get it. Dirty streets, high rent prices, inflation, everything like that. I see what he's talking about, but for that to happen anytime soon, I don't think so. I think unlivable, that would probably take 15, 20 years.
It'll be, a fight to be in one of those two groups, and then eventually a dictator, a strong man, somewhere down the line, some man or woman will come in and go, this system's fucked. I am going to run things, and they will run things in a way, and it probably won't be for the best, but like the system will collapse. But I don't know if we'll see it, but it will collapse. There's no way it doesn't. It will collapse to a degree. And
okay. I kind of get what he's saying. Okay. He's saying that the system collapsed and we wouldn't even know it. Like we wouldn't know what's happening behind the scenes, but the system would be collapsed. Okay, I get what he's saying.
Someone will come in and go, yeah, these elections are all fake and it doesn't matter anyway. Why do you fuckers need to vote? Here's a coupon for a chicken sandwich. And people go, I like chicken. And then, people just go, fuck it. They don't care. And then you go, there'll be Netflix and there'll be Domino's and you'll sit in your house and they'll say, well, you can't drive today because of the...
Man, you know what? Nah, you tell me all that. My answer is no. I don't want that.
Climate, and people go, yeah, it's Tuesday, can't get in my car because of climate. And you'll sit there and they'll feed you poison and you'll watch TV. And a few people will riot, but very few, because most people will be pacified by the goodies, which they'll still probably have. And, the leader will come on and tell, they'll be like, hello, everyone. And you'll go, hey, there. And it'll be a celebrity. It'll be someone you know. It'll be someone you're very familiar with, and they'll say a couple of things and be like, it's not that bad, is it? And they go, no, it's not that bad. And they'll feed you the propaganda, and you won't remember when you were free, and you won't remember. And most people will be fine with that, but me and you will be dead. And it won't matter. You know, and we'll have experienced the best of it. We'll remember when you could get in a car without a tracking device. We'll remember when you didn't have a fucking tracking device attached to you at all times. We'll remember when you could say what the fuck you want, alienate people, piss them off, and no one really cared, and it didn't matter because you could wake up the next day and say, sorry, I was drunk, and it wasn't on fucking Twitter.
I mean, I'm only 26, but I still remember growing up in a time where I didn't have all these electronics. I got my first phone when I was in 4th grade. It was a Virgin Mobile flip phone. You know, I don't even think Twitter was a thing yet. It might have been. I'm not sure, but yeah, you know, you wanted to go over somebody's house, you'd have to ride the bike over there, ring on the doorbell, call them before you leave on the house phone. Like, things were a lot different, and I'm glad that I had that experience growing up. And all of my friends and everyone I know my age all agrees.
People didn't have a record of what you did and what you said and where you were and who you fucked and everything else. We will remember true freedom. We're one of the last groups of people to actually be free. And we should all thank God for that, because the hellscape that's about to be created is going to be so bad they won't even know how bad it is. It won't even feel like they're in prison, because those offices we talked about, people, they get to like them. Oh, there's creamer today. French vanilla. It's your favorite. Ugh. It's coming. It's coming, and it's going to be so bad it won't even feel bad. But we'll be like, shit, remember when you could do all those things you can't do anymore? But, you know, and there'll be a few people that remember it, and then they'll take all those books about that shit and burn.
That setup looks so cozy.
Burn the fuck out of them. They'll go, well, those aren't good. Racism, homophobia, misogyny, burn, burn, burn. And people will forget when you were free, and they will just kind of create a society based on goodies.
How could you ever forget when you were free? I'd never forget what it's like.
Forget when you were free, and they will just kind of create a society based on goodies, little rewards, and the addiction to celebrity, where our leaders will all be celebrities who will tell you on closed circuit television how good things are going. And you'll go, good, thanks. That's what's going to happen.
That was one of the best rants I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
That
Well,
was fantastic. I hope you're wrong.
I hope I'm wrong, or if I'm right, I just hope that I'm dead. Or I get to be one of the people who's keeping everyone else in the cage.
Wow. Hey, that was a great discussion. Shout out to Joe Rogan. Shout out to Tim Dillon. That was a dope discussion, and it gave me some things to think about, seriously. But with that being said, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, peace.